create this video for a long time. So this is a monster who murdered 3 members. She murdered 3 members of my family. These are monstrous murders. So if I search for Jelica, which is her name, this is degenerate, I got this. That's her. This is her sister who vouched for her. Both of these 2 pieces of shit, morons and degenerates and stupid bitches, have major psych issues. So this video is about pictures of monstrously murdered members of my family, my father and my grandparents. So she poisoned them one by one for around 8 years. Let's see, not 8, sorry, 10 years. 10 years. And doctors finished them off. So she also poisoned 3 kids. These are 2 videos on that. So now I'm going to show pictures of my father, my grandfather and my grandmother, and before that I also have videos of my father. These are from the days when I started uploading videos on my channel. So that's him, these 2, this as well. So I think that should be all, or I can just go to videos and go to oldest, and this is it. I don't know if there are, yeah, and these 2, and I think that should be it. That's this degenerate and moron. She really liked to wear this piece of shit because she's half-cigany bitch, stupid bitch. So she's extremely stupid. You can see from videos that I posted about her. So of course her sister is behind her. Actually her husband, who is very good friend with former politician, who this is second wife of that former politician Ivkovic, who convinced Slobodan Milosevic, this piece of shit, commie moron, he convinced Slobodan Milosevic to surrender to Hague, and this leads directly to US embassy in Belgrade. During Slobodan Milosevic era, they were in charge of arresting Milosevic and transporting him to Hague, because Milosevic was a Western player and he turned against them. Same goes for Zoran Đinđić, Prime Minister of Serbia, who was assassinated. So these are pictures related to my father. This is his wedding. This is my great-grandfather. I will create video about him right away. So this is my mother, obviously, and this is my father. So their wedding day. This is my father. He didn't like to picture him with this old clothes, working clothes. He was a really hard-working guy. He was working as a driver instructor, which is extremely stressful, and he also was working as a farmer. So he had 2 jobs. That's him on some wedding of our neighbor, and this is him as a police officer in reserve. He was a Civil War veteran. There is a video about that, and YouTube puts that here at the end. So next up, my grandfather. That's him with his boss at local community office. This is his co-worker. This is my grandfather and my grandmother when my grandfather was serving the army. This is my grandfather around April 2011. something like 7 months before my grandmother was murdered. So I guess that's it. He was also a hard-working guy. He had major heart problems, but he would go against his doctor's advice, and he would work although he should not. And after he fell, he would then take medicines and continue works. This was my grandfather. Same goes for my grandmother. That's her when she was young, with her cousins or neighbors. I really cannot tell. Another picture of her with traditional Serbian clothes. Here, these are, I think, her cousins. That's her with me and my brother, and I always hide pictures of children. That's a rule of thumb for me. This is my grandmother with my cousins during my father's wedding. This is my grandmother at the same time as that picture of my grandfather. So April 2011, 7 months before she was murdered. Actually, she was finished off by doctor from ambulance of Smederevo. I have a video on that. This is the video, this one, doctors. I don't know if I mentioned that guy Mihailovic, who was working at ambulance in ambulance of Smederevo, or ER. These were the pictures. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this one. By the way, this was around middle of 80s, something like that. And this picture, this is my grandmother in the middle with my father. This is her sister. She had 3 sisters. Her sister with her baby, and this is my grandmother's sister-in-law, so sister of my grandfather, her husband, and her baby. My grandmother, by the way, had extremely good genetic material, sorry. So her nose haven't changed since she was around 20 years here, maybe even younger. And that's her. So no red black circles. What are those called? Never drink a glass of alcohol, no cigarettes, nothing. And you can see that she has the same nose in her. I think this is middle 80s, early to middle 80s. So extremely good genes. On the other hand, you had that monster and degenerate who murdered them. Oh yeah, I already mentioned, but I will mention it again. So my grandmother was also hard worker. They worked really hard to have a normal life. So when she married my grandfather, they didn't have much. So when she should have enjoyed that, she was brutally murdered by some sluts. So that piece of shit who murdered them she was a local slut, never did anything in her life. Nothing, no children, nothing. So real parasite, psychopath. She has the full full spectrum of dark tetrad, that monster who murdered 3 members of my family. And I mean, she poisoned 3 kids. Okay, so that would be all regarding pictures of my of monstrously murdered members of my family.